you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and welcome to a Monday edition of TNInews. And let me officially welcome you to Yo Joe June. It is G.I. Joe month. Unfortunately, I don't have too much in the way of G.I. Joe news to share with you today, but that will be coming later this week on Wednesday when Hasbro will hold their G.I. Joe fan stream, and we should be getting pre-orders on two different days this month. So the first round of pre-orders will be on June 4th, the same day as the live stream, and then I believe there will be a second round of G.I. Joe pre-orders on June 11th, based on the clue given by the Entertainment Earth Drops In page. So I've told you guys what I believe we will be seeing on June 4th as far as pre-orders, at least. I guess it's quite possible they'll show us everything during the stream, for both pre-order dates. But I don't really know at this point what's supposed to be going up in the middle of the month. But again, from what I've seen, looks like Flash, G.I. Joe Classified Flash, one of the original members, G.I. Joe Classified Wetsuit, didn't appear until later, but, we'll go along with the likes of Leatherneck and those Joes. And then a Cobra Night Viper is the third figure that I've seen. And then we did see them release the render last week of the deluxe Budo figure. We talked about that on Friday. I was really hoping, somewhat expecting, that Hasbro was going to release the renders for the remaining figures going up for pre-order on Wednesday to go along with the Budo figure. But so far, at least, they have not released any additional renders, even though we are into day 2 of Yo Joe June. And the reason why I was thinking they'd show the renders is because, again, those figures I just told you, they have not released any renders for those. Usually we get the renders well before the pre-order. Whatever reason, we didn't get renders released, at the last live stream or whatever for this wave. So I was expecting, especially when they released the render for the Budo figure, I figured they were going to release the renders for the remaining figures before Wednesday's live stream. And then on Wednesday's live stream, we'll get the official images and the renders for the next round and so on and so forth. And I'm sure they'll have those figures in the studio that they'll also show us like they always do. But again, like I say, so far at least, Hasbro has not released any additional renders beyond the Budo figure, so we'll have to wait and see if they do that. And of course, my guess is we will see the official images leak out probably Tuesday night. That's usually what happens. That's because when Hasbro does a pre-order the same day as the stream, it means they release the PR images out to all the various retailers, and inevitably always some retailer leaks the images out early, is why that generally happens. That's why, like, the Marvel Legend pre-orders, these days never go up the same day as the live stream. They always wait, and I think that's because they don't want the images leaking out. But when it comes to Hasbro's own brands like G.I. Joe and Transformers, they don't seem to mind as much if stuff leaks out early, because they always do the G.I. Joe live streams the same day as the actual pre-orders, which again is why you almost always see leaks happen, usually the night before, for that stuff. But of course, whenever that information does become available, I'll have it for you guys on TNI. Whatever next time video, we'll be talking about it, and of course, we'll have coverage of Wednesday's fan stream on TNI as well. And beyond that, I don't really have anything for you guys on G.I. Joe. I'm going to do roll call here in a second, but while we're on the subject of G.I. Joe, I just wanted to flip over. Because interesting, this isn't technically G.I. Joe. It's a third party. This is going to be released through the retailer Chosen Prime, who is a sponsor on the website. Apparently, this is going to be shown at the upcoming Joe Fest and Comic Show, which is later this month, taking place June 20th through the 22nd. But not officially G.I. Joe, but For you Tiger Force fans, this might be something that you want to check out. So obviously it's very similar to a G.I. Joe vehicle that we've seen, but a little bit different. And again, with Tiger Force colors, the official name of this is the Air Tiger vehicle. So, and I don't know what the price will be on this, but something G.I. Joe fans might want to check out. All right, before we get into the rest of today's news, let's just do a quick roll call, see who is in the house. Austin is our first poster today. Good to see you as always, Austin. John is in the house. Nice to see you as well. Zim00 is in the house. Always good to see action figure enthusiast members here. And just to update you on that front, we have 3 more to go till we hit 60. So once we hit 60 action figure enthusiast members, we'll do another giveaway for $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the video description if you're not an action figure enthusiast and you want to think about becoming one. But we're three members away till we hit 60, which, like I say, we'll do a giveaway once we do that. So it could happen as early as Wednesday, maybe Friday. We'll just have to see. Chris Allen is in the house. What is up? Captain Morgan, good to see you, my friend. Kevin Freeze is in the house today. Good to see you as well. The Mass Figure Collector, nice seeing you. Mr. Allmine is here as well. John is here. So from Ireland, good to see you. Passiano777, what is up? Judge Dreads. Philip is in the house today. Felix as well. Jeremy is here. Sorry for being late. Got off work. No problem. Better late than never, as they say. I'm hoping there's G.I. Joe vehicle being revealed. I don't know. I mean, I think another thing I think we'll see going up for pre-order is the mobile missile system, the G.I. Joe one, which is a repaint of the Cobra one, but the G.I. Joe one was actually an original toy back in the day. Came with Lieutenant Hawk, or not Lieutenant, but Colonel Hawk before he became General Hawk. So we'll have that figure. So I believe that will be going up for pre-order on Wednesday. And I'm still not sure whether that's good. They said that was going to be an Amazon exclusive, but I've seen conflicting information that suggests maybe that changed. So we'll have to wait and see on that. There's the All Striker that they showed us with Crankcase that they showed us renders for previously. So it's possible that's something that could go up. I'm guessing that will be a Pulse exclusive if it does. But as far as like a brand new vehicle that we've not seen before, I have not heard anything. That doesn't mean it couldn't happen, but I've not heard anything. I was really expecting a Thunder Machine to get announced this year. So, and I feel like the Thunder Machine's too small for a HasLab. I have no idea what this year's HasLab's going to be. I assume there will be a HasLab, but I've heard nothing really on that. So, but that I wouldn't expect to get until San Diego Comic-Con. So we'll have to see. But as far as like brand new vehicles that we've had no inclination of, I've not heard anything. But again, we'll have to see what they have for us. CJ Prime, what is up? Natural Nate Marvel, good to see you, my friend. Always love that avatar. Passiano, what do you think? What suit will look like? Classified, comics, cartoon, etc. I don't know. I'm thinking more in line with the cartoon, but will they? It's always hard to tell because sometimes they like to kind of give us their own version for classified, for the regular classified line, and then they come back with a more original toy looking or cartoon looking version for the retro card back line. So I don't know, but I wouldn't think it would look too drastically different than what I remember him from. I never had the original wetsuit toy. I have the more recent 3 3/4 inch wetsuit that they did years ago. but I never had the original wetsuit figure back in the day as a kid. Eric is in the house. What is up? Felix, Felix talking to Judge. Gary in the house. Good to see you. Hanzo is in the house today as well. Nice seeing you. I still got 9 Joes on pre-order. I hope they don't all come at the same time. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Heavy Duty should be coming soon. I got that off of Amazon. So I'm expecting that to arrive fairly soon. What else do I have? I think I, I think that's it, because like I'm pretty caught up. I have the Wave with Xandar and Leatherneck. I have those. I just recently, like a week or so ago, got my dial tone. So I'm pretty caught up. I think I kind of lost track. I haven't been collecting the anniversary figures, the generic ones, and then like I have not gotten. I haven't ordered any of those mass device figures. Actually, I think I did. The one on Target, which was Breaker, I think I pre-ordered, which is not shipped. But I didn't get the Snake Eyes with the polar bear, and I didn't get the diver one. I was on the fence with the diver one, but that one sold out really quick, so I kind of lost out on that one. But I really, until I know we're going to get an actual somewhat in scale mass device, getting figures with the mass device components seemed kind of a waste. Captain Morgan, thank you for becoming an action figure enthusiast member. Just now joining. Thank you very much. So that means we got 2 to go. So very, possibly on Wednesday we could do a giveaway if we get 2 more. Virtual Dave, good to see you, my friend. HasLab Mobat or Mauler tank or some new design in between the two. I could see that happen. I had the Mobat as a kid. I did not have the Mauler, but the Mauler I think was the cooler of the 2 tanks. The Mobat was a more generic looking tank. It had it was motorized, so you could have it go forward or backwards. It wasn't remote control, but you could like turn it on and the treads would start to roll. But if they were going to do one or the other, I kind of feel like I'd rather see a Mauler tank than the Mobat. I was very tempted to pre-order the ramen toy tank that you could either make the bridge layer, a regular tank, or the Wolverine, because I really wouldn't mind getting a Wolverine for my CoverGirl figure, but I have not. I'm kind of waiting to see if Hasbro ever does an official version. But definitely, I would love to see a G.I. Joe hovercraft. That would be, I don't know, that would be huge. But I would love to see them do a classified, hovercraft. Steven, what is up? Virtual Dave, good to see you from the UK. Joe says, hey, JC, just a Joe back in the house. Good to see you, Joe. Always good to have a Joe on Yo Joe June. What do you think? We're going to get into that, Rick, so I'll share my thoughts on that. Definitely something I look to when it comes out, add to my arcade collection. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to have to take one of these out. But I guess we can segue into that. So we got the news yesterday from Toy Book So this is actually from a different company, not Arcade One Up. It's from a company called Basic Fun, who is known more for handheld games, but apparently is looking to break into the home arcade uh, niche. So very similar to Arcade One Up, like you see behind me, but they have announced that they're going to be doing Wrestlefest. WWE, the original game, of course, was WWF, but they can't it's going to be WWE, not WWF, but it's essentially that classic Wrestlefest arcade game. Um, Not a lot of details at this time, but supposed to be released sometime this year, sometime this fall, so in time for Christmas. This was my favorite wrestling game back in the day. With classic WWE wrestlers, Hulk Hogan, Big Boss Man, Jake the Snake Roberts, uh, just to name a few. Ted DiBiase, I believe, was in the game. So just a lot of classic wrestlers. I assume one of the things I'm curious about is whether like the theme music for the wrestlers will be included. Um, Obviously, again, it's going to have they're going to replace the old WWF logo with WWE. No specific pricing information. They're doing a couple other cabinets. They announced Tempest, which is actually a countertop game, and then also Centipede. But those have been done. The Arcade One Up did arcade cabinets of both of those games previously, but nobody has given us the WrestleFest. Nobody officially, anyway. You'll see people who do mods on cabinets and stuff who've done this, but as far as like an actually licensed general release, we haven't seen this game in a long time. And again, price range on their cabinets are said to be between 180 to $600, which is, the higher end is what the Arcade One Up stuff usually goes for these days. So I'm guessing the WrestleFest will probably be at the top of that price range, but I'm still going to get it. Um, I don't know the dimensions. I don't know if these will be a little bit smaller. I'm guessing these will be. They're kind of the guys playing it here are crouched down, so it's kind of hard to say for sure. But I'm not sure these will be the exact same size as the original machines. Um, I don't know. I don't see any kind of riser or anything like the Arcade One Ups would have. Arcade One Up started doing deluxe machines where they got rid of the riser, making the machines taller. But so here it looks like it's all one piece. Hopefully the marquee will be lit up, but it's hard to tell from what we've seen so far. But again, this is definitely something I am going to likely add to my arcade collection behind me, because this is a game I really was kind of hoping would get released. I was hoping, there had been for many years Arcade One Up had been rumored to be doing this one, and then it never materialized. But like I say, looks like this company, Basic Fun, is finally going to give us this classic wrestling arcade machine. So when more details become available on this, we'll probably hear. I'm guessing we'll probably hear more at San Diego Comic-Con time. So when more specific details become available on this, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But again, definitely, I am likely going to be adding this one to my collection, because it's a game, one of the games I've been kind of looking forward to. And I don't know, based on these images, it looks like WrestleFest will be the only game on this machine. Arcade One Up would always put more than one game on their machines, but I'm guessing with Basic Fun, it's just going to be one cabinet and one game. Let's jump over to Transformers. So I told you on Friday that we had seen some renders for the 86 Studio Series Megatron, and now we have actual images. And I gotta say, this thing looks gorgeous in robot mode. So this is something else I definitely plan on adding to my collection. He does transform into a tank. I didn't think that it was very likely we were going to get a gun, even though, of course, in the movie he did transform into a gun. But guns are no-nos these days. So once again, Megatron, the modern Megatron, will transform into a tank. But looks pretty good in tank mode. But even again, more so, just how good the robot mode is, and how true to how he appeared in the cartoon and everything. So this is definitely one I plan on getting. Looks like it's going to cost around $54.97. This actually went up for pre-order. Well, they've pulled it, but Walmart actually had it yesterday up for pre-order. No images on the Walmart website, but they did. People were able to actually pre-order it for a short while. So I think they jumped the gun. I don't think it was officially supposed to be going up for pre-order. I don't believe it's a Walmart exclusive. Other retailers will have it, but Walmart had it priced at $54.97. It is a leader class transformer with a release date of September 1st. So I suspect we'll see this on display at San Diego Comic-Con. But again, we do have the images of him. And like I say, his robot mode to me just looks fantastic. Been waiting for a good, I have the Masterpiece Megatron, but I've been waiting for like a Studio Series cartoon accurate Megatron from Hasbro. So, they've done some decent Megatrons in the past, but like I said, this one is like dead on to his cartoon appearance. And the fact that they did, like obviously the cartoon didn't have treads like you see on the back here, but that's very minor, and I can certainly willing to go with that, because I understand why he's a tank and not a gun, even though it would have been cool if they'd given us a gun. So look for that. Like I said, I'm sure we'll get the official reveal, if not sooner, by January or by July with San Diego Comic Con. I don't have a whole lot for you on Marvel Legends. Mondo showed off at Monster Palooza, which was a convention this past weekend. They showed off their upcoming 1/6 scale X-Men 97 Mr. Sinister. They had announced this was coming during WonderCon. We saw some renders of this at WonderCon, but this is still an early prototype, so we'll get to see a more finalized version at San Diego Comic-Con, but they had this painted prototype, and apparently they just literally finished the night before painting it. It's going to come with an alternate head from the X-Men 97 series, the Dark Mr. Sinister. But like I say, that is coming from Mondo Toys. And then the only other thing I really have for you today on the Marvel Legend front, Ghost Spider, I have a feeling it's probably sold out, but this was available again yesterday. No, it's actually still available. So if you missed out on the Gamerverse Spirit Spider, Ghost Spider, whatever you want to call him, he is available again on Walmart. I know some people had their orders canceled. Same thing with 77 Spider-Man. We talked about that on Friday. But if you missed this one or you had your order canceled, you've got another shot at him on Walmart's website. And then just a reminder, we've got two different Marvel Legend pre-orders this week. First one is Thursday, which will be a fan channel Amazon. So Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Again, Amazon has Repulse, Nerdzoic, all those places will have it. That's the Wolverine and the Silver Samurai 2-pack. And then being released as a Target exclusive, the Psylocke and Thanos, that goes up on Friday, June 6th, supposedly at 1 p.m. But, you got to be careful with Walmart. That could change. So as soon as it goes up, we'll have it listed on Marvelous News. I do expect the Psylocke Thanos will sell out pretty quickly on Target. So again, just kind of keep an eye out on Friday for that to go up on Target's website. Though, like I say, it's listed, Hasbro said 1 p.m. was when it's supposed to go up for pre-order. Which I guess, I think I mentioned this on Friday, where them saying this was going up on Friday led me to think if the Target Geek Out event was actually going to start on June 6th. But if that's the case, if this actually does not go up until 1 o'clock p.m., then it wouldn't be part of the Geek Out event. So I believe that would make the following Friday, which is when McFarlane said the Target Geek Out event would launch, that would be in keeping with that. So, and that sometime during the Target Geek Out event is when I expect the Weapon X and at least the Weapon X, and but probably both Weapon X and that Mystique figure to go up for pre-order. Iron Studios is doing Fantastic Four statues. This generated some buzz in the rumor websites because it actually gave us our first look at Franklin Richards, and we knew that Sue Storm will be pregnant in the movie, but obviously at some point Richards is born, or Franklin is born, and so not that I really find that exciting to see a baby, but again, Iron Studios has given us our first look at the MCU Franklin Richards. And those are available. All four of those statues are available at Big Bad Toy Store if you're into statues. But again, that's really all I have for you on the Marvel front today. Just like I say, remember Friday for Psylocke and Thanos, because, as I say, the Wolverine Silver Samurai I don't think is going to sell out, but the Psylocke Target exclusive Psylocke Thanos I think will sell out pretty quick. Let's see what else we got. Let's go back to Mondo, since we started with the Mr. Sinister. So also on display at Monsterpalooza, which this is a 1/6 scale. They've done a 1/6 scale Beast before, but this is more vintage Beast, vintage retro Beast they're calling it. So this is going to be going up for pre-order on the Mondo website starting on June 3rd at 12 p.m. So you get with the Mondo version, you get all these different head sculpts. You get his whip, you get a chicken leg, you get a cup for him to drink out of, you get a sword, multiple pairs of hands. So again, looking much more in keeping with the original toy and everything, this version of Beastman. So this again is for a 1/6 scale figure, but it does have a good size to it. So for you Masters of the Universe. But probably the coolest thing was we got to see a painted prototype of their 2000X He-Man figure. So we had seen an unpainted prototype at WonderCon for this figure, but now we're seeing the painted. So again, this is a 112. He-Man is said to stand 7.5 inches tall. He will be taller than other figures in this line. Or at least some of the other figures, sizes will vary. Again, it's listed as a 112 scale line, but they said specifically He-Man was going to stand 7.5 inches tall. You get his axe, you get his power sword, you get his shield, you get 4 different head sculpts, I should say. You also get the base, the gray skull base that will act as a figure stand. So I think it looks gorgeous. It's got double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, bicep swivel. The loincloth and the boots have real soft goods fur on it. So I have no idea what price will be. Going by what they said at San Diego last year, these 2000X figures should be cheaper than their 112 real Ghostbuster figures, but that doesn't mean they're going to be cheap. It just means they'll be a little bit cheaper. But I do expect them to be, more on the expensive side than cheaper. That's the Beast that was on display. Mum-Ra was also on display. That's the back of the shield. So you got sculpting detail with the wires and stuff. That's the back of the He-Man figure. I like how he can store both his shield and the axe on his back. So, no idea when this is going to go up for pre-order yet. Probably, I'm guessing around San Diego Comic-Con. That's just purely a guess on my part because they did not say. And again, pricing is not known for this figure yet. But if you're a fan of 2000X He-Man, I think this is definitely something people are going to want to check out. Now, I told you, I think it was on Friday, I told you guys, I think Mattel, not 100% confirmed on this, but I believe Mattel is going to start giving us Origins figures in the 2000X style. So if you're into 2000X He-Man and you want something cheaper, I believe Mattel will start giving us Origins figures based on the 2000X designs sometime next year. So I believe that is coming. So, but again, for those of you who want 1/12 scale figures and want really nicely detailed and stuff, you know, based on what we're seeing here, I would say this figure is really nice. Now, at WonderCon, they also announced for this scale, Skeletor was coming, Man at Arms, and Clawful. So I believe that will be your first 4 figures. I don't know. Again, I don't know if they'll try and do a 2-pack thing or single release. Again, none of those details have been made known, but Skeletor, I'm sure, will be second figure, Man at Arms, and then probably Clawful. Not sure why they picked Clawful to go second for bad guys, but in Badass reviews and Mondo themselves for these images. NECA is really trying to get their money's worth from this Ben Cooper license. So this is listed as a Comic-Con exclusive. This is a 6-inch cloth figure. So, I believe this is taller than the previous ones. Maybe not. Maybe it's the same scale. Just they're kids, so they're shorter. It listed as 6-inch. But Ben Cooper, soft goods, Tiki Terror with the Tiki mask. Again, is the first Comic-Con exclusive that NECA has announced for this year. I don't think. Oh, and also NECA has announced Wednesday figures. So they just released this teaser. We're going to get more details this coming Wednesday. I believe these will be available on the NECA store at least first, and then maybe other places. You can see these are soft goods, but I don't know what scale these figures are. I don't know. These face sculpts on all 3 of these figures looks a little off to me, but maybe they'll look better when we see additional images and stuff. But again, this is based on the new Netflix Wednesday series, and we should be getting more details on these this coming Wednesday. And yeah, that's really all I have for you on the NECA front. Masters of the Universe, getting back to Masters of the Universe. So on the Mattel Creations website drop calendar page, they've listed 2 new Masters of the Universe Origins pre-orders coming this month. So the first one is coming June 24th, which is a character that I don't think has ever gotten a figure before. Shirella is the name of the character. So this is some concept art for the character. But again, that was on one of the other recent figures that they've done. Flying Dragon not included, I don't think. But, she looks like a Sheena type character with bow and arrow and stuff. She has red hair. So I don't really know much about the character, but looks like she's coming to the Origins line, be available exclusively on Mattel Creations starting on June 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, probably $20. And then we saw the Fright Zone playset images got released during Toy Fair back in February, and it looks like that's going up for pre-order on June 27th at 12 p.m. So no pricing information yet on that one. But again, this Fright Zone playset for the Origins line looks like will be offered through Mattel Creations. And again, looks like it will drop on June 27th. Let's see, anything interesting on Lego front? Not really. Some new pre-orders went up on Big Bad Toy Store for you wrestling fans. Elite Collection Series 119 is available for pre-order. So this wave's going to have Liv Morgan, Ethan Page, Dexter Lumis, Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom. There will be two versions of Ethan Page. There'll be a chase and a regular version. And then also available for pre-order, no images, but the next wave of Championship Showdown with The Rock versus John Cena, Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I know the wrestling world got rocked this weekend with news of WWE releasing a couple of wrestlers with R-Truth, who just had a big match during Saturday Night SmackDown with John Cena. And then Carlito also got let go this weekend from WWE. So don't expect to see those guys anymore on WWE because, again, they've been cut. I've heard some rumors about Miz maybe soon leaving and Gunther as well, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But I know a lot of people were pretty upset about the news of R-Truth, who, I think is pretty funny. I was laughing in his segment, I think it was this past Friday on SmackDown when he was like talking to Solo and he was like, JC is I haven't seen this dude before. Is he your son? Everybody started cracking, even the wrestlers and stuff. So definitely it's kind of a shame that they're letting him go. I don't think they used him a whole lot. Like I say, did have the big match this past Saturday night main event with John Cena, but they weren't really using him. Same with Carlito as part of Judgment Day, but they never really used him. So, but yeah. Anyway, these two waves of figures are available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. Biker Mice from Mars, Wave 2. Here is official look. So I believe these are currently available on the Nacelle store, but eventually these will be available places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. So again, this is Wave 2 of the Nacelle Company's Biker Mice from Mars. Limburger, I think it's going to be a popular one. I never really watched Biker Mice from Mars, so Grease Pit, Carbuncle, Charlie, and then Carbine. So that's your second wave. Like I say, right now you can get them off the Nacelle store if you want, but again, other retailers like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth should be carrying them sometime in the fairly near future. For you mask fans, we got an update from the loyal subjects. So they've announced that these masks, let's see, what do they call them? These are second masks, but these are, these drop-down masks. So these will be included with the figures in the line, that come with the vehicles. But they're basically announced that they're going to be offering additional masks. And they have some power effects that you can attach to them and stuff. So we've talked about the vehicles before, which I believe are still slated to go up for pre-order on September 1st at Big Bad Toy Store and then elsewhere later on. But again, they just announced they're throwing in the extra masks. All right, was a big weekend for McFarlane as far as store drops. Target, all the Superman movies stuff officially dropped on shelf. Target was a popular place to be. Many of those exclusives that they've announced recently also were available. So this Red Cyborg Superman is a Target exclusive. It was available on EB Games. Has sold out there. It is listed on Target's website, and it's been dropping at physical stores, at least some physical stores, but is not yet available for purchase online. But there is a page for it now. You can go to TNI if you want to get the link. I don't know when it'll be available online. I don't know if they'll announce it ahead of time or if it'll just pop up one day. So you'll have to keep an eye out. This was the gold label Battle Damage Superman. I think we talked about this on Friday. This is another Target exclusive. Again, saw physical store release this weekend. Again, was available on EB Games. And again, there's a listing on it on Target, but not yet available for purchase there. Some other platinum figures went up on EB Games. So this is comic book based platinum, red platinum version of Mr. Terrific. Last time I checked was for you folks in Canada, is still available. Definitely a lot easier, it seems, to get these things in Canada than it is here in the United States these days. This red platinum red lantern figure also went up on EB Games. These red platinum ones, I think, have started to hit physical stores. Amazon Canada, CMD store, another Canadian retailer, had these listed, but not yet available for purchase. But the red platinum Mr. Terrific from the new movie, as well as Robot Number 4. So I don't know how readily available these will be online, but I believe that, again, these have started to hit physical stores. One thing I also wanted to know, I'm not sure if this was available last week, but I forgot to mention it. So there's two versions for you DC Superpower folks. There's two versions of this T-Craft vehicle. There's the regular version, which has no figure included, and then there's this version that has a Mr. Terrific figure. You can buy Mr. Terrific separately, but there is actually a version of the T-Craft that includes the figure as well. So here in the United States, it looks like, at least it's not listed as a gold label figure or gold label vehicle, whatever. There's no gold label on it, but right now the only place in the United States that seems to offer it is Walmart and the McFarlane store. So for now, I'm calling it. There's some Canadian retailers that are Amazon Canada has it, EB Games has it, but again, here in the United States, the only place I've seen it available is Walmart. So for now, I'm going to call it a Walmart exclusive, even though it's not actually listed as a gold label item. But again, and if you already have the regular T-Craft and you already bought the Mr. Terrific figure separately, then there's probably no need for this. But if you want to buy it all as one package, there is a version of that out there. So yeah, I believe that brings us up to date on everything. Hanzo, Marvel Legend Ghost Spider release date or shipping date put. Well, that you're right. I didn't mention that. So both the 77s, the people who pre-ordered the Ghost Spider and the 77 Spider-Man on the second go around, the release date is later than those that pre-ordered it and didn't get it canceled originally during Walmart Collector Con. Now, it's possible everyone's could end up being delayed, but definitely if you're pre-ordering either of those figures now, it looks like August will be the earliest that it ships out to you. Automaton, a little bummed that Mondo didn't reveal it. Well, it was a fairly, their booth was pretty small, so they didn't have a lot of room to show off everything. But I'm sure we'll get, San Diego Comic Con in July. I'm sure we'll get, I'm sure they'll have a fair amount of stuff. Also, I think, speaking of delays, I believe Mondo sent out for those who pre ordered the first row Ghostbusters figure. I believe they said that had gotten delayed and was going to now ship out either this month or next month. I forget. If you pre-ordered it from Mondo, you've probably gotten the delay notice. I'm still getting that Megatron. I might paint the lower legs all black. They tried to make the toys safe with the orange tips and stuff, but cops were still killing too many kids. I'm more picky than Jay. I have issues with Megatron's lower legs being the wrong color. His lower legs was not that color in the 80s movie. Yeah, I'm willing to overlook some things, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, CJ. But yeah, it doesn't bother me that much. How many Megatrons do you need? Well, I've got, you know, well, I mean, Megatron's like Prime. I mean, how many Primes do you need? But in that's for that line, I don't have a good Megatron. Like I say, I have Masterpiece Megatron. I have some of the other Megatrons that Hasbro's done, but they're not nearly as cartoon accurate as this new one. So I'm a sucker for that. G1 is my Transformer, and when the more they look like they did in the cartoons and stuff, the better I think they are. Hey Jay, sorry to ask this already, but do you know if the Toxic Crusaders Mayor Grody is an EE exclusive? Um, I don't think so. I don't. Let me put it this way: I don't think technically it's an Entertainment Earth exclusive, but like I don't think Big Bad Toy Store ever offered it. So as far as I know of, the only place that has it available for purchase is Entertainment Earth. Again, I don't think technically it's an Entertainment Earth exclusive. I could be wrong on that, but they don't list it as an exclusive. So it's possible you could see other places carry it. But right now, that seems to be the main place to go. If I'm assuming you're talking about the one from Trick or Treat Studios. Um, so I think technically it's not, but again, right now that seems to be the place to go to get it. I did forget one other big piece of news. Um, so last week we got the Marvel Street Fighter stuff, and this weekend Jada Toys released official images for their next Street Fighter figure with Vega. So this is going up for pre-order this coming Friday, June 6th, 12 p.m. Places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Figure looks great here in these new official images they released. He's got the claw. He's got effect for the claw. He's got two heads and a mask for the unmasked head. So looks really nice. Be cool if they included like a fence diorama for him to hang off of, but again, if you're wanting to build up your Capcom side of things for Marvel versus Capcom, this is a figure you might want to check out. And again, pre-orders open up on June 6th, this coming Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Ajana says, I agree. I don't know why companies can't be more transparent with future plans. I would have 100% ordered the mass device figures if I knew they were going to make an actual. Yeah, I mean, in that particular case, I definitely think it was a marketing faux pas. I mean, and I guess it's possible they're not doing a mass device. So, and under that circumstance, I could maybe see why they didn't broadcast that because they don't want to, leave it the possibility open that they might do a mass device so that you buy it. But if they are doing a mass device in the near future, then I agree 100%. They should have made that fact known. Um, before they started selling the individual figures with the mass device pieces. Hey, Rashid, trying to salvage my day off. Well, hopefully, watching today's live stream helps with that. Hanzo, an updated Joe tank design would be kind of cool. Maybe something based on the U.S. Abrams design or even a Russian Artema design model. And for those of you that like just military vehicles and stuff, I get you. But for me, it's all about nostalgia. So I would much rather, if they're going to give us a tank, I'd rather it be based on one of the originals with, maybe some updates and stuff to make it better. But how tall are the biker mice? They're either 6 or 7 inch, but I'll pop over. Seven, like the biker mice themselves in the first wave are listed at 7.12 inches. So basically 7 inch figures. The Watcher. My Target did not get the Cyborg Superman. Either that or somebody cleaned it out before you could get to him. But um, I didn't even go. I didn't go out and look at my Target this weekend. I just saw tons of people posting images. It's always like people that live on the coast and stuff. Those bastards always get access to stuff that many of us don't. But I suspect if I'd gone into my Target, I would not have found much. The Superman movie figures, probably, those I think were pretty wide release. So, like, I don't think Superman and Lex Luthor, probably Ultraman, those are probably not hard to find. But we're all always better late than never, I always say. The Watcher. As I mentioned on Friday, the cost of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 packs, from what I've seen, look like are probably going to be about $60. Not 100% confirmed, but based on uh, preliminary information I looked at, it looked like $60. So I think that's what you're probably going to be getting with those 2 packs. The Juggernaut, I believe, is going to be around 65. The Garganto Shumagorath, either 60, but somewhere between 65 and 70. Hanzo, on Amazon, some McFarlane NFL figures are on clearance. DC Multiverse Swamp Thing, yeah. They've been doing some clearance stuff on McFarlane, G.I. Joe. If you're for you G.I. Joe fans, the Stinger Jeep's on sale on Amazon right now. Um, it was on sale last week and sold out, and now it's back again, even a couple dollars cheaper. Now it's $76. Last week it was $78. Original price was $100, but again, if you missed out on the GI Joe classified Stinger and you want it, again, it is on sale on Amazon. Mad Rick, hello, Jay. Firm handshake from Portugal. Portugal. Another, you guys, you international folks tuning in, always good to see you guys. Well, if you're talking about the DC stuff, yeah, the DC, I don't know. I, of course, paid full price for my G.I. Joe Stinger, but which I don't mind. All right, well, we're getting close to the end of the hour, so like I say, should now be just two more action figure enthusiast members needed. Thanks to Captain Morgan, now down to two till we hit 60. So possibly we could be doing a giveaway on Wednesday. If not Wednesday, even stronger chance on Friday. GI Joe fan stream is Wednesday, so 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I definitely will be here on Wednesday to talk about, the usual 3 p.m. time to talk about whatever's revealed. I'm looking forward to Flash. I'm, basically the original figures is kind of my goal to get all of those in classified form. So definitely glad to see Flash. Wetsuit wasn't a favorite character of mine, but I definitely will pick him up. Other possible pre-orders either this week or in the middle of the month. The retro cardback Bat figure, the green shirt figure. I'm sure we'll probably get additional looks during the fan stream of the Cold Slither San Diego Comic-Con set. They gave us a preview. They showed us in hand the Zartan figure at the end of the last live stream, but I'm guessing we'll get a full-on look at that box set finally for those of you wanting that. That's probably something I'm going to pass on, that Comic-Con. I like the idea of it, but it's not something I necessarily feel like I have to have for my collection. And it's probably not going to be, with 5 figures, it's not going to necessarily be cheap. But again, I do expect we will see that fully revealed this coming week during the fan stream. But whatever it is, we'll have full coverage up at TNI, and then, like I say, I'll be on later that day so we can talk about it, plus anything else that happens between now and Wednesday in the toy world. So hope to see you guys there. Like I said, if we pick up 2 additional action figure enthusiast members between now and then, we will be doing a contest giveaway for $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store for the action figure enthusiast members. And thank you to everyone who has become the action figure enthusiast members here. Always appreciated. Until next time, guys, stay safe out there, be good, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great,